6 out of 6 in the sales video series, and this one is all about follow-up. Again, please, if you haven't watched the other 5 videos leading into this, all these build on each other, and it is a step-by-step type process if you want to improve your sales, but follow-up is a big one. So a couple of interesting stats first. There's lots of stats, but online I'll do it for you, right? So 48% of salespeople never, ever follow up at all. They have the first conversation and leave it there and stop. 25% will follow up once, and 12% will actually, only 12% will follow up more than 3 times. Why is that relevant? Okay, so the next level of stats. Only 2% of sales are made on the first transaction. Only 2%. 48% of people never, ever follow up. Mental, right? 80% of sales are closed after the 5th contact. Only 12% will follow up 3 or more times. 80% of sales are closed after the 5th contact. So follow-up is absolutely crucial and important. Now, stats aside, the way I look at sales, or as sales as a process, is your role as a salesperson is to take the conversation from inception to conclusion. Right? So however many conversations, however many iterations, however many contacts it takes, that is your job. They've started, they've put their hand up, they've asked a question. Our job, we've gone through, we've diagnosed, we've made the recommendations, we've handled objections, blah, 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 is to get a yes or a no. Now, if you don't follow up, it's a no by default, right? As the stats tell us. But your job, rather than leave it wondering or make an assumed no, is to get that explicitly, or actually get that yes, which will happen if you are consistent and supportive with why you're following up. So that's the first big message. Forget the stats, understand your role and why you need to keep following up. There's a whole bunch of ways to do that. I started this in the last video, is if you do need to give them time for a genuine reason that you can't solve or address there and then, maintain control of the conversation as best you can, right? So if they're going to head off and say, look, give me a couple of days to work on it or figure it out or do whatever they need to do, say, hey, look, absolutely fine. So a couple of days, look, are you comfortable that I give you a buzz in a couple of days if I haven't heard from you? Now, if they're sincere and genuine at that point, it will be absolutely true. It'll be fine. They will say yes, and make sure you put it in your diary. Make sure you actually follow it up. Some of that is a test in itself, not necessarily a conscious one, but how consistent are you? How reliable are you? If you've said you're going to follow up, for God's sake, follow up. Actually follow through on that step. It's huge. Mentally, we play all sorts of tricks on ourselves, or tell ourselves lots of stories as to reasons why we won't follow up. We decide people are tire kickers. We decide they're not really buying. We make all sorts of judgments about them, right? And often the case is actually they got busy. Lo and behold, what's important to us is not necessarily the most important thing to them. They've got 50 million other things on their plate too. So this is just one other thing in the mix. It's not about their livelihood usually. So they could just be busy. Secondly, they might not actually have got enough information. If you don't follow up, you will never find that out, right? And most people won't put their hand up and come back to you to get all that extra information. They'll just either find it somewhere else with someone else, or they'll just kind of disappear, right? If you're talking to them and following up, you've got an opportunity to address that or fix that. It's just, I guess the big message is don't assume a no. Get an explicit answer, right? And be okay with doing that. Every time you do call them, if they aren't in a position to make a decision there and then, get permission for the next point of contact. Get permission for the next point of contact and keep doing that. Now, when we first started out, we had one client. I don't think I'm exaggerating. It took at least 3 months, and I can't remember how many contacts before this individual actually made a decision. And halfway through the process, we used a takeaway strategy, which deliberate. It was like, hey, look, this is the 4th time I've called. Look, I know you're busy. I don't want to be the person that's just annoying you or hounding you. Do you really want me to keep calling, or should we just leave it where it is and you can come back and find me if and when you're ready? Now at that point, if they're still sincere and genuine, they jump back in the boat, and this character actually did. And early on in my career, even as a coach, that the follow-up process works. Done with the right intent, done with their permission, and done genuinely, remember they came to you with a problem asking you to solve it, right? That's probably still there, and they're still looking for a solution. So, if you're consistent with it and you communicate with them, yes, it's a long game, people do come around. And, the stats say that no one else is doing it. So if you're still there, if you still care, if you're still in touch, 80% of the time, you'll be the one that wins that business. Follow-up is crucial. It is simple. There's a couple of key steps and messages in there in terms of reasons why and how to do it. Hopefully you picked that up. That's the last of this video series. There are 6 more. If you haven't digested them, go find them and grab them. And if you've enjoyed it, I guess the invitation is certainly subscribe to the YouTube channel. Look at some of the other videos that we publish there from the Coach's Room. And the second one is jump on our website. There is an opportunity or a place there where you can ask for a discovery session where we can address and discuss anything that's going on in your business for an hour. It's completely on us. If you're not in Wellington, we can do that via Skype. I invite you to do that. We love talking to business owners. If it goes nowhere, as you've heard from my sales process, hey, I'll make some recommendations and wish you well. Otherwise, yeah, let's talk. Let's see if we can't make some changes for your business too. So I hope you enjoyed these. Hopefully I'll talk to some of you on a discovery session, and I wish you all the best.